Hi guys, welcome to this podcast. Today we'll be talking about electrical engineering and how that relates to religion. Give some insights on the idea of science and religion and that relationship. Do they conflict or not? Science and religion intend to explain the same thing, right? They intend to explain the world that we live in, the why that we're here, how this world was created, our purpose, etc. But for many, those two, science and religion, don't connect at all. I am an electrical engineer. I'm graduating this year. I'm also religious. I'm a Christian, a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So that gives me a unique perspective on how my field of electrical engineering relates to religion. For some, science repudiates religion, and as such cases as the Galileo affair show, religion has been responsible for stifling the progress of science. At the other end of the spectrum are those who argue that science and religion are natural bedfellows, and that science owes much to religion. Arguments have been made that modern science arose from the belief in a creator who constructed the world on physical laws. Religion builds and creates this idea of an organized universe that has helped to motivate and even encourage this idea of the world can be figured out. There are laws and organization, and science fits right into that. So to go through this relationship between electrical engineering and religion, we're going to first start talking about the historical impact that religion has had on electrical engineering, and then we'll go into the contemporary modern impact of it. Okay, so to first talk about the historical impact that religion has had on electrical engineering, we're going to go to the very beginning and start talking about universities, right? Electrical engineering is a higher level of science and of study, and that requires secondary education and a lot of groundwork to be laid. So almost every university and college founded in the US and Europe until the mid-19th century was founded by some religious organization. Now there's many reasons for this, so most of them being that that's where the financial funding came from, as well as that's where the desire for education also came from, right? You had these religious institutions that wanted to teach their clergymen how to read, as well as they needed an education to be able to teach sermons, etc. And in medieval Europe, they were mostly founded by the Catholic Church to train future priests and other religious officials. The greater number of the colleges and universities founded in American colonies from 17th through the 19th centuries had some kind of denominational sponsorship, in this case typically evangelical Protestant. There were 3,893 degree-granting institutions of higher education in the U.S. in the fall of 2021, and 849 of those were religiously affiliated, and that's today's numbers. Right, and how were these religious institutions? What did they do to sponsor some of these universities? Sometimes it took the form of different things, but that usually meant a clergyman president, formal links to denominational authority and financial support from it, courses in scripture, compulsory chapel attendance or church attendance, and just highly visible student religious groups. Okay, so now that we have that background, knowing that most universities in Europe and the Americas were founded religiously, clearly religion had a major impact in the beginnings of electrical engineering and in science as a field of study. Okay, now that we understand how religion has impacted universities, we need to, for electrical engineering, talk about Michael Faraday. He's known as the father of electromagnetism and electrical engineering because of his discoveries and his contributions to the field. Much of Michael Faraday's inventions, contributions, and discoveries to the field of electrical engineering are critical and crucial. The field wouldn't be what it is today without him. In connection with that, Michael Faraday would likely not have made those same discoveries and contributions had it not been for his religion and for believing in a universe created by God, in a knowable universe that is subject to laws and that God intended for us to get to know and to understand. He was born in 1791 to a poor family in England and was just super curious about the world around him. He first got an interest in electricity and magnetism from his pet cat, actually, which was interesting, and the static electricity that he observed while in his youth. He was the first to produce an electric current from a magnetic field, a principle that is highly used in the field of electrical engineering today, especially in power transformation and power generation. He was also the first to invent the electric motor and dynamo, both devices that unlock the gate to modern machines and a reality of a world built on electricity. And he also discovered the law of induction. Though he had all these amazing contributions to electrical engineering, he was also very involved in religion. He was a part of a small religious sect known as the Sandemanians, and this sect emphasizes a close attention to the Bible and a hope in Jesus Christ. And Faraday didn't just attend offhandedly. He went to meeting houses every Sabbath day, delivered sermons himself, tended to the poor in the group, and just participated wholeheartedly. Many of Faraday's contemporaries said that he possessed a reverential attitude towards nature, man, and God, and that no attentive listener ever came away from one of Faraday's lectures without having the limits of his spiritual vision enlarged, or without feeling that his imagination had been stimulated to something beyond the mere exposition of physical facts. The pursuit of science was, for Faraday, charged with religious meaning. As he experimented, and as he discovered, he was communing with God's creation, and he was understanding how God constructed the world. For Faraday, religion and science weren't two separate entities. They were very much the same intertwined thing. And because of that, it very much disturbed Faraday that when scientists would impose onto nature their own prejudices rather than just examining the world and discovering God's creation, when they took God out of the equation. Faraday even believed that God had not only made the physical universe, but had subjected it to laws so that it behaves in a regular manner, and that the job of the scientist was to find the laws that God had imposed at creation. So now that we've dived into the historical impact that religion has on electrical engineering, we want to shift our focus more into more modern impact that religion can have or does have on the field of electrical engineering today. To do this, we first want to talk about artificial intelligence. This is a very hot topic right now, and one that is very heavily involved in electrical engineering. And a lot of this has to do with moral and ethical questions. Is it ethical to use artificial intelligence for X, Y, or Z? When talking about the AI debate, here are some issues to consider. The first issue is humans trying to create intelligence and play God. The second issue, AI can make decisions that impact human lives, and whether or not AI should be allowed to reach into these different realms, particularly in who bears the moral weight of the decisions made by AI, such as in the justice systems in healthcare or warfare. Another issue is the loss of human dignity. As we use AI, we are reducing human interactions, and it begs the question of what it even means to be human. And the last one is that though it can be used for a lot of good, it can also be used for a lot of bad, to create fake content, imitate voices, create realistic images, leading to more deception and manipulation and confusion in our world today. Now, I don't have the answer to all these questions, but these are questions that religion can provide clarity to. Science needs that backbone of religion to bring morality and ethics and innovation. Ethical conversations that we have in the AI debate also bleed into the medical device debate. Is it moral to make these devices that play God? Is it moral, for example, to transplant a head? Is it moral to extract stem cells, as they're very useful, but they also are usually extracted from young or unborn children? Another hot topic in electrical engineering is in surveillance systems and whether that's moral or not. And recently, as an electrical engineer, I've been working on a project that deals with drones and their use in surveillance systems. And this has thrown me right into the world of ethics, and I've had to examine deeply how my involvement with this project affects me morally. I've had to come to terms with the relationship between electrical engineering and religion and find how they connect for me. Electrical engineering bleeds into many other aspects that require moral and religious background to get a full and clear view of their impact and whether or not they should be innovated and pursued. Such other topics that we could talk about are space exploration. Should we leave the planet God has given us? How has our purpose as humanity changed with this? Another hot topic is green technology. Should we take care of the earth that has been given to us, show stewardship, and treat what we have been given with respect? So, as you can see, electrical engineering and religion have been intertwined historically, from the founding of universities to the founder of electrical engineering and father of it, Michael Faraday, and his contributions, all the way to modern impact, where electrical engineering innovations and technologies require ethical considerations, where religion can provide that ethical framework. Likewise, the greatest impact that we have on the relationship between electrical engineering and religion is on our own sphere of influence. For me, electrical engineering is completed by religion and vice versa. It's through the combination of these two that we find the greatest answers, both the how and the why. It helps us to connect with God more by understanding the laws He used to create. We are essentially understanding Him when we understand His laws. By separating the two, we do a disservice to those that have come before who relied on religious stability and explanations to discover and develop electrical engineering. We lose a key piece in the puzzle. I'm Ben Hansen, and thanks for listening.